I watch a lot of documentaries and I often feel the need to comment on them. And this one, I figured I'd comment on it. It's about parents sending their children to a 6-week long fat camp. Now, I was a chunky monkey when I was young. Heck, I still am a big guy. But the time I lost the most weight was through playing rugby. An activity I actually enjoyed, I could see a purpose to. And one of my problems with this fat camp is a lot of kids are being sent there regardless of how they feel about it. And I just do not like the idea of people shoving their kids off for 6 weeks to do something they don't want to do. And they always say it's under this thing of, oh, I'm saving their life. No, 6 weeks doesn't do diddly squat. They might lose a few pound over 6 weeks, but it has to be long-term changes. Because whatever you're doing at this camp that you're pretty much forced to do, you're not necessarily going to do when you leave. And what really got my goat, I'll leave the link for this documentary in the information below my video. They were on about they didn't want kids to be unhappy, but they were making them do activities they didn't want to do. Now, why? If there is a sporting or athletic activity they would enjoy and they would do happily, why make them do cross-country running when they don't care about it, when they'd happily play football? Surely tunnelling them towards something that they actually enjoy or have some form of interest in is a lot better than rigidly trying to make them follow a schedule. And the thing I actually hated most in this documentary was when they were getting the kids to write down things they hate about themselves. Well, basically, all of the people at this camp were glorified trainee PE teachers, and they were all youngish themselves, and yes, they were thin. But I don't think they're qualified to open up the psychological bubble of making a child analyse what's wrong with them and why their weight upsets them. They're not counsellors. They're not prepared to offer the proper support and guidance emotionally. And if anything, a lot of people that are big, a lot of problems related around it are emotional. At least it was in my case. Yeah, I enjoyed my food, which was a problem. Yeah, I enjoyed sitting on my arse, that was a problem. But when you're being called a fat arse, you don't particularly feel like being seen in public, like going for a run, like going to a gym. You feel like locking yourself away. And these are complex feelings that, you know, some junior grade young PE teacher is probably not the person to talk to about them. They wouldn't have the real qualifications, and I'm not saying this to knock them. I'm saying it to knock the organisation. I used to work for a bullying charity, and I was a mentor. And you talked to people and offered them support, but when they actually said things like they'd hang themselves or they were real, proper, fully trained, highly qualified counsellors that they were handed off to. There were people there waiting, so in case these kids opened up to us a little bit and it got heavy, there was somebody there who had the proper qualifications to talk them down, to calm them down, to help them deal with their problems, and if necessary refer them on to somebody that would organise a proper care plan for their mental health. And this camp, they were still getting chips and stuff and pizza. It wasn't like they were being introduced to bags and bags of healthy food or following any form of real diet. So you're basically being made to run around a bit more, and that is it. Some of the kids were spending 6 weeks there, and by the end of the week, 6 weeks, they had lost £2. I think I've lost more than £2 having a heavy visit to the toilet. I think the best case scenario I saw was a kid that had lost just over a stone, which does sound good, but you have to ask the question, is that stone going to stay off? And have you damaged the kid in doing it? I know I'd probably think at that age, oh great, my parents have shipped me off, they don't want me. I'm a fat disgrace and they've sent me somewhere else to be sorted out. And a lot of these parents were not exactly supermodels themselves, we were rather on the tubby side. So if you're concerned that young Stephen's a bit tubby and you're a bit tubby yourself, why not offer to go on a few walks with him? Or play football with him? Or both go on a diet, do it together, hand in hand. Set an example for your kid to follow and help them, instead of going, oi tubby, you go to fat camp while I eat these Mars bars. To be honest though, really, the people that run these camps have a vested interest in you not losing a great deal, because if you lost a great deal and sorted yourself out mentally and stuck to a rigid diet, then you wouldn't be there again paying them the following year. So if you swing up and down in weight and you're back next year, you're the ideal customer for them. Because like most companies offering a service, they're not really your friend. They're there to exploit you in whatever way they can. And a parent's fear for their child's future is one of the most exploitable assets you'll ever find. Now, I'm not going to pretend I have all the solutions, because I don't. I just think we have to be a little bit dubious of underqualified people getting children to talk about their feelings while making money, making them run around a bit. That's my rant. That's Kerr 9000 signing out. Peace and love, everyone. Take care.